Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Podcast by MrZ. I'm MrZ, and I'm thrilled about today's episode.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sarah, and this topic is absolutely crucial for English fluency.
Sarah, I want to ask you, how did you become fluent in English?
Honestly, through conversation practice. Nothing else came close to the results I got from actually talking.
That's powerful. So conversation was the key to your fluency?
100%. All the studying, reading, and listening helped, but speaking with real people transformed everything.
That's the message we need to share with our listeners today.
Conversation practice is absolutely essential for natural English speaking.
Today, we'll teach everything about conversation practice and how to speak naturally.
From finding practice partners to handling difficult conversations.
Let's start by understanding why conversation is so important.
What makes conversation practice unique?
Because it forces your brain to think and respond in real time.
You can't think for 5 minutes before answering like in written English.
You have to access vocabulary and grammar automatically.
This automaticity is what creates fluent speech.
Conversation also provides immediate feedback.
When someone doesn't understand you, you know right away.
You can adjust and try again immediately.
This feedback loop accelerates learning incredibly.
Now let's talk about different types of conversation practice.
What types of conversation should you practice?
One-on-one conversation with a language partner.
Small group conversations where you practice with multiple people.
Speaking with native speakers who can give you real exposure.
Speaking with fellow learners who understand your challenges.
Each type has value and unique benefits.
Now let's talk about finding conversation partners.
How do you find people to practice with?
Language exchange websites like Tandem or Speaky connect learners.
Local language exchange meetups in your city are great.
International cafes where people gather to speak different languages.
Online conversation apps specifically designed for language learning.
Friends who are also learning English or native speakers who want to help.
Facebook groups dedicated to language exchange.
It's actually quite easy to find practice partners these days.
Now let's talk about preparing for conversation practice.
Should you prepare in advance?
Light preparation is good. Not heavy script writing, but basic preparation.
Think about topics you might discuss.
Review some vocabulary related to those topics.
But don't memorize speeches or scripts.
Preparation should be light and flexible.
You want to be ready, but also spontaneous.
Now let's talk about starting a conversation naturally.
How do you begin a conversation?
Start with friendly greetings and small talk.
Hi, how's your day going? Or how are you?
These openers are warm and inviting.
Ask open-ended questions that encourage longer responses.
Not, do you like coffee? But, what's your favorite coffee shop and why?
Open questions lead to more natural conversation.
Now let's talk about maintaining conversation flow.
How do you keep a conversation going naturally?
Listen actively and show genuine interest in what they say.
Ask follow-up questions based on what they mention.
If someone mentions they love hiking, ask about their favorite trail.
This shows you're listening and interested.
Share relevant stories from your own experience.
This creates natural back-and-forth conversation.
Use natural phrases like, that's interesting, or tell me more.
These keep the conversation flowing smoothly.
Now let's talk about active listening in conversation.
What does active listening mean?
It means focusing completely on what the other person is saying.
Not thinking about what you'll say next.
Not planning your response while they're talking.
Actually listening and trying to understand their message.
Making eye contact or giving verbal cues like, or I see.
Active listeners ask clarifying questions when they don't understand.
This makes the speaker feel valued and creates deeper conversation.
Now let's talk about handling mistakes in conversation.
What should you do if you make a mistake?
For small mistakes, just keep talking.
Native speakers don't stop and correct themselves constantly.
Stopping breaks the conversation flow and distracts everyone.
For major mistakes that hurt understanding, you can quickly correct. Like if you said the wrong number or name, quickly say, I mean, but for small grammar or pronunciation issues, just continue.
This keeps conversation natural and flowing.
Now let's talk about handling communication breakdowns.
What happens when you don't understand someone?
Ask politely for clarification.
Could you say that again? Or, I didn't quite catch that.
Use phrases like, could you explain that differently? Or, what do you mean by...
Most native speakers appreciate when you ask rather than pretend to understand.
Asking shows you're engaged and want to really communicate. Now let's talk about improving vocabulary through conversation.
How does conversation help you learn new words?
You hear words used in real context.
You understand them from how they're used, not from a definition.
If someone uses a word you don't know, you can ask them to explain.
This helps you remember the word with better understanding.
Over time, repeated exposure to words in conversation sticks them in your memory.
Now let's talk about natural pronunciation development.
How does conversation help your pronunciation?
You hear native speakers pronounce words correctly.
You can imitate their intonation and rhythm naturally.
Through conversation, you pick up the melody of English.
You also get feedback if your pronunciation makes you hard to understand.
Your practice partner will ask you to repeat if needed.
This natural correction helps you improve pronunciation.
Now let's talk about confidence building through conversation.
How does conversation build confidence?
By actually succeeding at communication.
When someone understands you and responds positively, you feel good.
When you successfully have a conversation, you realize you can do this.
Each successful conversation builds confidence for the next one.
Confidence is built through doing, not through studying.
Now let's talk about different conversation topics.
What topics should you practice?
Start with easy topics like hobbies, family, daily life.
Then move to more complex topics like politics, dreams, emotions.
Practice topics related to your goals and interests.
If you want business English, practice business conversations.
If you want casual conversation, practice everyday topics.
Choose topics that motivate you and keep you engaged.
Now let's talk about authentic versus textbook conversation.
What's the difference?
Authentic conversations are artificial and stiff.
Real conversation is natural with interruptions and tangents.
Real conversation includes natural pauses and casual language.
You should practice authentic conversation, not textbook dialogues.
Practice real conversation styles with contractions, casual grammar, natural flow.
This prepares you for actual communication in the real world.
Now let's talk about conversation groups and classes.
Are these valuable?
Yes, conversation groups provide structured practice.
You get multiple practice partners and a supportive environment.
Conversation classes often have activities that make speaking easier.
Like games or discussion prompts that give you structure.
But make sure the group actually focuses on speaking.
Some conversation groups spend too much time discussing grammar.
You want groups focused on communicating naturally.
Now let's talk about preparing for spontaneous conversation.
How do you handle unexpected topics?
By not panicking. It's okay to struggle sometimes.
You can buy time with phrases like, "Let me think about that."
Or, "That's a great question. I haven't thought about it."
These phrases are completely natural and give you thinking time.
You can also ask your conversation partner to explain more.
Can you give me an example? Lets you process better.
Now let's talk about the language of conversation.
What language patterns should you focus on?
Natural phrases and expressions, not perfect grammar.
Like, I'm kind of tired instead of I am somewhat fatigued.
Contractions, I'm, your, don't, can't, are essential in real speech.
Casual connectors like so, anyway, you know.
These make your speech sound natural and native-like.
Now let's talk about pacing and rhythm in conversation.
How important is speaking speed?
Very. English has a natural rhythm and pace.
Speaking too slowly or too fast makes you sound unnatural.
Through conversation practice, you develop better rhythm naturally.
You pick up the melody of English from listening.
Don't worry about being too slow at first. That's fine.
Gradually, you'll develop a more natural pace through practice.
Now let's talk about body language in conversation.
Does body language matter for English practice?
Yes, nonverbal communication is important for connection.
Make eye contact when talking to someone.
Use facial expressions that match what you are saying.
Gestures help communicate your message clearly.
In video conversations, be aware of your camera and positioning.
Good body language makes your communication more effective.
Now let's talk about structured conversation practice formats.
What structures can help you practice?
Debate practice, where you argue both sides of an issue.
Role plays, where you play different characters.
Storytelling, where one person tells a story and others ask questions.
Interview practice, where one person interviews another.
Teaching, where you explain something to your partner.
All these structures make conversation practice more effective.
Now let's talk about getting feedback from conversation partners.
How should you ask for feedback?
Ask what you did well first, like, what did you notice I did well?
Then ask for 1 or 2 areas to improve.
Not 10 things to work on, just 1 or 2.
What's one thing I could work on for next time?
This makes feedback manageable and actionable.
Good feedback focuses on 1 or 2 specific things.
Now let's talk about tracking improvement in conversation.
How do you know you're getting better?
You speak more fluently with fewer pauses.
You understand more without needing explanations.
You use more complex sentences more naturally.
You feel more confident in conversations.
You make fewer mistakes that impede understanding.
These are signs you're improving through conversation practice.
Now let's talk about frequency of practice.
How often should you practice conversation?
Ideally, daily or several times per week.
Even 30 minutes of conversation practice is valuable.
Regular practice is more important than occasional long sessions.
Consistency builds fluency faster.
Try to have at least 2 or 3 conversations per week minimum.
More is better if you can manage it.
Now let's talk about conversation online versus in person.
Is there a difference?
Both have value. Online is convenient and accessible.
In person allows for better body language and connection.
Use whichever is most practical for your situation.
The most important thing is actually having conversations.
The format matters less than the practice itself.
Now let's talk about overcoming conversation anxiety.
How do you handle nervousness about speaking?
Acknowledge it's normal. Everyone feels nervous.
Remind yourself that mistakes are okay and part of learning.
Practice deep breathing before conversations to calm nerves.
Start with easier conversations before tackling harder ones.
Build confidence gradually through successful practice.
Now let's talk about post-conversation reflection.
What should you do after a conversation?
Reflect on what went well.
Think about what was challenging.
Note new words or phrases you learned.
Plan what to practice before your next conversation.
This reflection solidifies your learning.
Now let's talk about conversation as a two-way street.
What does that mean?
It means both people contribute and participate equally.
You should both talk about equally amount.
Both people should ask questions and show interest.
One person shouldn't just listen while the other talks.
The best conversations are balanced and mutual.
Now let's talk about conversation goals.
Should you set conversation goals?
Yes, like, I'll use 5 new vocabulary words today.
Or, I'll speak about a complex topic without stopping.
Or, I'll lead the conversation and ask all the questions.
Goals give you focus during practice.
Now let's talk about learning from conversation partners.
What can you learn besides English?
You learn about different cultures and perspectives.
You learn how to build relationships across language barriers.
You make genuine friendships with people around the world.
Conversation is about connection, not just language learning.
Now let's talk about maintaining conversation partner relationships.
How do you keep finding people to practice with?
Stay regular with partners you develop good chemistry with.
Show appreciation for their help and effort.
Offer to help them with their language learning too.
If you can't find a partner, keep looking. There are many options.
Now let's talk about transitioning to natural conversation.
When should you stop preparing for conversations?
Gradually reduce preparation over time.
Start with light preparation, then move to spontaneous conversation.
Eventually, have conversations with no preparation at all.
This is when you're truly speaking naturally.
Now, let's talk about conversational expressions everyone should know.
What phrases help natural conversation?
You know what I mean, right? Anyway.
Like, so?
Actually, for sure.
These connectors make conversation flow naturally.
Now, let's do our final summary.
We talked about why conversation practice is essential for fluency.
We discussed different types of conversation, one-on-one, groups, with natives.
We covered finding conversation partners through various platforms.
We talked about light preparation and starting conversations naturally.
We discussed maintaining conversation flow and active listening.
We covered handling mistakes and communication breakdowns.
We talked about how conversation builds vocabulary, pronunciation, and confidence.
We discussed choosing authentic conversation over textbook dialogues.
We discussed conversation groups and classes.
We talked about handling unexpected topics and natural language use.
We discussed pacing, body language, and structured formats.
We covered feedback, tracking improvement, and practice frequency.
We talked about online versus in-person and overcoming anxiety.
We discussed post-conversation reflection and mutual participation.
We talked about conversation goals and learning beyond language.
We covered transitioning to fully natural conversation.
That's comprehensive coverage of conversation practice.
I hope our listeners feel ready to start practicing conversation.
Conversation practice is truly the path to natural English.
Nothing replaces the real interaction of human conversation.
Your improvement will be dramatic once you commit to this.
Thank you for this empowering conversation about conversation.
Thank you for emphasizing its critical importance.
English learners need to prioritize speaking with real people.
For everyone listening, if you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to Podcast by MR.
We release new episodes every week to help you improve your English.
Leave a comment and tell us about your conversation practice experience.
Or share where you found your conversation partner.
We'd love to hear about your progress.
Thank you for committing to conversation practice.
Your dedication to speaking will transform your English.
Soon, you'll be amazed at how naturally you can speak.
Keep practicing, keep speaking, keep connecting.
We'll see you in the next episode of Podcast by MR.
Goodbye, everyone.
Now go find a conversation partner and start speaking naturally.